Hi everybody, it's Justin from Main Man Bassing. In this video, I'm going to review the Lowrance Hook2 5 HDI split shot. So it's a 5-inch screen, and the split shot means that it's 2D sonar and downscan imaging. And it's a chart plotter, a GPS chart plotter fish finder as well. It is not the triple shot. The triple shot has side imaging. That will not be in this video. It's a split shot unit. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'll show you some clips of the last day or two of me. It's an on-the-water demonstration, so I'm going to show you clips for the last day or two of me catching bass, and I'll show a picture of the imaging, and then I'll take you through catching the bass, and then I'm going to come back and talk about my feelings about it and some of how the main features function. This is not a step-by-step tutorial of how to use it. This is the third review I've done on it. I'll link the other two up in the description box. And I did an unboxing video, and in that one, I go step by step through like every single setting to show you what it has, what it's capable of doing. And then on the other video, it was a first impression of me using it the first day and how I felt about it on the water. But this is like where the action is, this video. This is me catching bass with it, all right? So I'm gonna do the videos and then talk about it. If you're interested in purchasing the unit, there'll be an Amazon link in the description box. You can check that link, click the link, it'll bring you to Amazon. You can purchase it there. If you're new to the channel, I do product reviews, fishing adventures, and how-to videos that all revolve around bass fishing in the Northeast. I'd love to have you as a sub. It would really mean the world to me. I'm gonna get right into the videos, the clips of me catching bass. Okay, so I zoomed in for you. And you can see clear as day. If you look up at the top right screen, that's your 2D sonar. You can see that you got the little orange and yellow arc. And directly below that's the downscan imaging, and it's a little white circle. And that's going to confirm that what I'm looking at is a bass because there's separation from the ground. It's not like a plant or a tree or anything on the ground. So it was pretty clear as day, man. So I had to reposition my boat a little bit because there was a little bit of a drift. It was blowing me off. I really wanted a drop shot. And I also wanted to point out one thing here. You can see that it's at about 9 feet. So at 9 feet, you're getting a good image like that. That's pretty shallow to be using downscan imaging and sonar, man. Like, that's pretty cool. It's because the transducer beam is so wide. They like basically doubled the angle, the width of the transducer beam to pick up more, to cover more surface area. So like, I was pretty surprised when I saw that image at 9 feet. Right there, right on the hill. Are you done yet? He's not done. Oh, pound for pound, dude. Right in the lip. Not a bad smallmouth. There's one right there. I gotta get him. All right, I zoomed in again. This one, the 2D is hard to see because of it was dusk. You can see it's better probably to look at the downscan first, and right in the middle at about 12 feet you'll see a little white circle that's just like suspended just a little bit off the ground. Okay, and then if you look directly up from that, you'll see a little arc. It was more clear to me. It's just the lighting is affecting what you're looking at, but pretty clear as day that that's a bass, and it's on It's on the incline, and it's between, looks like on the bottom of the hill there's a rock, and up towards the top looks like some grass. So that's the bass I was targeting. I also want to mention real quick, if you look at the down scan on the bottom left, you'll see like a little black box that's sort of obstructing the view of the ground. Okay, that happens on this unit on the down scan imaging. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens. It does happen. And it's like a con of mine I talk about later on in the video, a con that I have for the unit. Like that, it's just annoying, that black box. I would really like to see what the ground looks like. And I know there are anglers who really, really like to fish what type of ground it is. And it looks like if you look up at the 2D, you see the white little patch where that black box is on the down scan. It looks like it could be some softer ground. It's I'm sorry, some harder ground going into softer ground. But it's not a huge deal. I just wanted to mention that. Gotta get in. All right. Got him. And that was the last I saw of that bass. I still wanted to put it in because I thought it was a good image. And it looked like a pretty healthy bass. Man, I really wish I caught that bass. But whatever. Oh, he came off. Oh. All right, there's the bait fish. Looks like that's the bass right there. So they're on that hill of the hump. All right, so I'm gonna put it right. Okay, I got this zoomed in because it's really hard to see. And not only that, but if you look at the downscan and sonar, they're not aligned. One's a little bit farther off than the other. It's probably just the button I hit that screwed it up. But if you look down at the downscan where the cursor is, if you look right to the right, you can just barely make out a little circle. All right, and then you can see like what looks like baitfish or plants. I'm not really sure. It's so vague though, like it's really hard to pick that up. But I figured, you know what, I'm gonna fish this area because I was on an incline, and I saw the plants, or what could be plants or baitfish. I'm not really sure, but also look at the ground. The ground changes from soft to hard. If you look up at the 2D sonar, the top screen, it goes from, you look at the ground, it goes from yellow to red. And that red means it's getting softer, and the yellow means it's really hard. And so that bass usually, they'll relate to that change in structure. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna fish this because it's a good area to fish, and I think I see a bass. I'm pretty sure it's a bass, and you'll see what happens. Yeah. We're waves off it. Oh, so that's grass though. That's not bass. It's grass, but it's still a good area to fish. I got a bass. Dude, I didn't think it was a bass. It's a giant. It's a big bass. Dude, I thought it was caught on a log. I'm recording. I thought it was caught on a log. Either that or he's fouled. He might be fouled. Yeah, he's fouled up. He's not even that big. You're not happy with me, huh, buddy? Oh, he's gushing. He is gushing. He is not happy with me. Oh, dude, I got blood everywhere. Oh, dude, you got blood all over my carpet. I got him. Oh, it's the downside of crankbaits. Alright. That little tiny thing right there. Alright, last one. This is, so the imaging, it's not spectacular, but it is what I thought. I'm pretty confident that that's a bass. Let's start with the 2D, or I'm sorry, the down scan, the bottom screen, right? Right next to the left side of the cursor, just below the left side, like diagonally left, you'll see a little circle there, a little grain of rice. Okay, that's what I saw first. And then I tried to look up and confirm it on my 2D, and I didn't really see it, but near the cursor on the 2D sonar, the one with the yellow ground, you can see what looks like a little stick sticking out of the ground, right? So what I think that was like your sonar is round, right? So it's going to come through whatever you're viewing, where it's going to go through your sonar first. The sonar is going to pick it up first, and then your down scan is not a circle. It's more like a bar or a line, right? And then so my boat was moving kind of slow. So at the time that the imaging picked it up in the sonar, it was close to the ground like that. But by the time it got to the down scan, it might have moved off the ground a little. That's what I think happened there. But nonetheless, it was on an incline. It was between, looks like two rocks, right? On the top of the hill, you see a rock, and on the bottom, to the left of the circle, you see a rock. So I thought, you know what, this is going to be a good area to fish. It looks like a bass. I'm going to fish it. And I did, and I caught a bass, and you'll see it in a second. I cranked it. I had to reposition my boat and cast out that way to the waypoint, but I still picked up a bass. While I had the opportunity, I just wanted to mention, like, if you're interested in getting one of these units, navigating the buttons and the processing speed is pretty good for a push button. I'm like pretty impressed. Also, I want to mention, you look to the left of the 2D and the down scan, that's my contour maps. Lowrance works with CMAP Genesis, and there are a couple other companies that work with CMAP, but CMAP, you can either download social maps of contour maps that people make. They log sonar and they upload it to CMAP, and if it qualifies for a social map, they'll put it on, and then you have access to it because you purchased Lowrance. You can also make custom contour maps. If you have a small lake, you can just take a day and log sonar going up and down the lake, and then upload it to CMAP, and they'll make you a custom contour map if there's not a social map available. And it might qualify as a social map. That means everybody, after you upload it, if you choose, everybody can use it as a contour map. So it's a pretty cool feature, especially for smaller lakes that aren't really, a lot of smaller lakes aren't on like the Navionics chips, etc. So I just wanted to mention that because I'm almost done with this video. That's a bass. That's a bass. So it's right off the drop off. I don't think it's a big bass, but I'm just gonna fish this, catch the breeze, and crank it. Here's just sit grass. Nope, got a bass. Hey, little buddy. Yeah, this guy's hurting. I got him good.
with those trebles. He was going nowhere. He'll live. Bye bye. Sorry.
So those are the clips. I don't know. I think the first two were great. The third and fourth ones, the imaging, I would have liked to have better imaging, but that's what happens when you're using a fish finder. Sometimes you don't really know. On those bass, I wasn't totally sure, and I don't know if those bass that I caught were actually the bass that I saw in my images, or if those were bass on my imaging. But it made sense to me because they were both on inclines. They were both surrounded. They were both in between structure and cover. So I figured I'd fish the area anyways. But that's not a knock on Lowrance. Like, that's not the Lowrance unit not performing well. There could have been a million reasons why. Because on the third and fourth bass, they showed up on the down scan, but not the sonar. There could have been different reasons why, and they might not even have been bass. But I decided to fish the area because it looked good, because I have my incline and decline of depth, and then I had structure cover around, and what looked to be like bass on the down skin. So, but I think overall, like, I'm happy I have this unit, man. It's a great little unit. The imaging quality is like the crispness of the screen is really good. I mean, I put it, like, I drive my boat and it's probably like 3-4 feet in front of me, and I can still make out pretty well. Sometimes I have to come in closer so to look at it, but there is a zoom feature on both the 2D sonar and the down scan, so you can select which screen you want to look at and then zoom in to get a better picture. Ideally, I'd like to have a bigger one, or a console where I can bolt it up, but I don't have a console on my boat, right? Like, if you have a console and you're sitting right in front of it, the 5 inch is all you need. The imaging is really good on it, like the quality, the crispness of the screen, I'm really happy with. Processing time to get 2 different screens, like if you want to back out of the screens you have, you can do that fairly quickly. Like, I was really impressed with the processing speed between screens. There's also a feature, if you check out my other videos that are in the description box, I'll show you can sort of customize the screens that you want and the layout of them, which is a really nice feature. It's a really cool feature. The navigation lag isn't horrible. There is like a 1 second lag on, like, you'll turn a little bit and then a second later you'll see on the map, the map rotate. So it's not as bad as the older model, but it's not perfect. But I'm not sure, and I don't know if you buy like a 7 inch or 9 inch, if that processing gets faster with those models. I'm not sure, I don't know. But it's not horrible. Like, it's fine. I guess one con would be every now and again on the floor, I get little black boxes. So the black boxes don't obscure my view of what I'm looking at, but they are on the ground. And sometimes, especially when you're going up a hill or down a hill, they'll like put these little black boxes like in the ground, and it won't, like I said, it won't obstruct your view at all. But I like to see what the ground's made of sometimes to see if it's hard or soft. So that's like the one con I can think about. I can get up to about 10 miles an hour and the imaging quality is fine. When I go above 10 miles an hour, the screen gets a little choppy. There's a lot of static on it. And it also depends on the ground. If the ground's really soft, it's like I get a lot of static once I go above 10 miles an hour. But if the ground's really hard, I can go 15, 20 miles an hour and I get good imaging, because the sound's going to bounce back up to the transducer really quickly on a hard surface. But it's just like on the main lake floor usually when it's real soft and muddy. When I'm cruising, it's not the greatest quality. But I think that I would think that's pretty typical with most fish finders. That is really all I wanted to cover and all I wanted to talk about. I think for the price, it's a good unit. If you're going to put it on your deck and stand up, I wouldn't do that. I would spend the money on the 7 inch screen. But if it's right in front of you, or like me, if it's kind of near you while you're driving, it's fine. You're gonna be able to see everything pretty well. Really, that's it. It's a great little unit. I have it. This is the second Lowrance I bought. I really like the first Lowrance. I think the price point's great. It processing speeds quickly, and I caught a lot of bass with it. Puts me in the area to catch bass, or sometimes directly targeting precisely and catching those exact bass. So it's a great unit. It'll definitely help you catch bass. I mean, if you're thinking about it, I would pick it up. It's a great unit. All right, so that's the review. Again, if you're interested in purchasing it, there's the Amazon link. Check that link. It'll bring you to Amazon. Check out the other videos I did on it. I'll put those in the description box as well. I hope you're having a great summer. I hope you're catching a lot of bass. I hope you catch a real big bass soon. Thanks.